Are we good to go? Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for August 3rd, 2022. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the city to preside over today's agenda. It's just after 9 o'clock in the morning. Looks like we might have one person here this morning and then staff. Let me go ahead and swear everybody in who's going to be speaking to me about anything on the agenda this morning. If you'll all please stand and raise your right hands, I'll swear everybody in. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right, like I said, I don't know if we have any respondents here this morning, so why don't we go ahead and start with whatever case you want to get started with. And do we have
We have two, I believe.
we have two folks here?
Yes.
All right. If you're here for a case, when your case is called, please come up to the podium to my right. The way we will proceed is that I'll hear from the city first. The city's witness or witnesses will present testimony, and there may be documentary and photograph evidence regarding the matter. Once the city has concluded its presentation and made any recommendations for disposition of the case, I will then come and over to you. I'll hear from you. You can tell me everything that you feel is important about your case. If there are additional documents or additional photographs that you want me to consider, that will be the time to produce those. Once I've heard everything from everybody on that case, in all likelihood, I will enter an order today that resolves the matter one way or the other. So that's generally how we'll proceed, and let's go ahead with the first case.
First case number 3949 34th Street, CE 22070099, number 3949 34th Street.
Good morning. J. Francis, City of West Palm Beach Code. 949 31st Street was cited on 7/12/22. Certified mail was sent on 7/13/22. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 7/20/22. The affidavit of posting was completed. This property was cited for prohibited vehicle. I have been in contact with the owner of the property, who explained that the vehicle was registered as a van recreational vehicle. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city is asking for an additional 60 days for them to come into compliance. If not, then the city is asking for a $50 a day fine until compliance is achieved.
When I first saw that, I thought it was a Palm Tran vehicle with the stripes on the side.
Me too.
So did you say 60 days?
Yes, sir.
To get that? Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Amy Kaufman, 949 34th Street. Just that, I think Jared put it perfectly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop you real quick. Ms. Francanero, did you have any additional testimony that you wanted to get on the record? I apologize.
Sure, I apologize. I was trying to look up something on this case, so.
Sorry.
No, that's
I'll be
okay.
right back.
Officer Francis, I apologize. I didn't hear a lot of your presentation, so I'm just going to go through it.
That's fine.
Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you send out a notice of violation via certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Posting at City Hall and the property?
Yes, ma'am.
In relation to your testimony, do the photographs that we've been looking at, do they accurately and truly depict the alleged violations that you believe exist on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you personally observe the property and the alleged violations?
Yes, ma'am.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm sorry.
So I just want to note, actually, on the certified mail address, it wasn't the address of the location, so I never got that mail. I only got it, I think it was on the 20th when a note was posted onto the door. So just if that could get switched, so in the future I will get the mail, that would be helpful. Aside from that, I think that's great. I have plans to put up a fence already. I just wanted to be sure that everything was good before I did it.
All right, and the city's recommending 60 days to get this wrapped up. You think you can get it done in that period of
Yes,
time? Let me just
definitely.
ask City if you can go ahead and, the address that the notice documents were sent to.
949 34th Street.
Okay, and that is the address of the property in question. Did you get, I know that there's a posting affidavit that was, and it looks like it was signed for, I just saw on the screen.
Yeah, I posted the property myself. There's pictures there as well.
So it looks like somebody signed for it, ma'am.
I think the address was in Palm Beach Gardens. It seems it was the old owner. We just bought the house.
Ah,
I don't know who that address is. Some case management, someone? Yes.
Was this the address in the tax collector's or property
on the
appraiser's
pop-up.
records?
Yes, sir.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
is that
officer.
the address, the 4371 North Lake Boulevard? Is that where it was sent?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I can tell you is that the law on notice for these types of matters requires the city to provide the notice to the address that is
It's on
in
the
the
pop-up.
tax collector or property appraiser's records, which apparently is that Palm Beach Gardens address for Custom Management LLC.
Okay.
So if that address is changed, update that. Or you can provide the city with the address that you prefer notice to be sent to. If you do
Okay.
that in writing, I think that'll solve it going forward. But based on what I've heard, I do find that there was proper notice under the law in this case. Is there anything else that you would like to tell me, ma'am?
No.
Okay. As I said, there is proper notice in this case based on the testimony and the evidence. I find the property does remain in violation as cited. I will go ahead and allow the additional 60 days for compliance. After that, though, there will be daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved. So you want to make sure you get that done within the 60 days so that those daily fines don't start
Great.
hitting.
Awesome.
Okay? Thank you very
Cool.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Here's a copy of your order. Number 28, 1002 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 22060053. Okay. I guess we can
We
wait.
since we called it, let's go ahead and, just so that the record stays clean and we're not bouncing around. Yeah, let's go ahead and hear it.
Number 28, 1002 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. The property was cited on 6/3/2022, City Hall, and property was posted on 7/20/2022. Certified mail was signed for on 6/8/2022, and I have spoke with the property management company and property owner, and we're asking for 30 more days or $100 per day. All is in compliance except for the garbage can placement and the inspections of the units. So we're asking for the 30 days so that can take place, the inspections.
So they need the inspection under 2232A and then
Yeah.
the garbage can placement under 7434, that's it?
Yes, and the 18162 code was a valid code when it was cited, but they changed that actual code in the interim. So that was actual valid code at the time.
Yes, the city attorney explained that to
Okay,
me
very
before we
good.
went on
Thank
the
you.
record. So we'll make sure that those orders track the relocation of that code section.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Special
Tell me again
Magistrate,
what the
could I
new
ask
code
a,
section is?
I'm sorry?
Tell me again what the new code section is.
22-441. Mr. Joyce found that for me this morning because my computer won't track it this morning.
Did you have any additional testimony you wanted to get on the record?
Just briefly, yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep on
That's okay.
stepping over you.
Okay. Officer Luster, Do you have an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And we've been reviewing some photos while you've been testifying. Do those photos accurately and truly represent and depict the alleged violations that continue to remain on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you briefly tell us what it is about the garbage can placement that you believe is a violation, as well as what, in terms of the inspection for the certificate of use?
The
Is
garbage
outstanding.
cans actually live at the road. The garbage cans actually live at the road, at Palm Beach Lakes on this well. And I explained to the property owner and manager that they have to be out of sight once picked up. And she's a new owner, so she had to get her license and need to have the units inspected.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
That is granted. Those documents are part of the record. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. With the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice. I understand the respondent was here, but left before we called the case, and you have had contact. I do find proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property is now in compliance with all code sections that were cited in the notice, with the exception of 7434A1J regarding garbage can placement, and 22, and no, I'm sorry, it's, is it the new code section that's still in violation?
22-441.
22-441, which used to be 18-162A.
Correct.
All other code sections are in compliance. I will accept the city's
22-32A.
recommendation, allow 30 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Next case, number 515 Westwood Road, CE 22060139.
I'm sorry, which agenda? I was making a note. What agenda item?
Number 1.
Number, where to go back to the top. Okay, thanks. Good morning.
Good morning. Don Williams, Code Enforcement. Cited 515 Westwood Road for 78-1, which is obstruction of right-of-way. I actually cited this case on June 13th of 22. Certified mail was received by the owner at July 15th of 22. City Hall, and the property was posted 7/25 of 22. I had no contact with the owner of the property, so my recommendation would be 7 days to comply or $50 a day after that.
Officer Williams, do you have an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the alleged violation, can you briefly testify as to what it is you believe causes what you saw or observed to be a violation?
Yeah, there is a hedge that's blocking the sidewalk on that property.
Can you give us a little bit more detail about?
Well, you can't get to the sidewalk. You actually have to walk to the road or on the swell area to get by.
And the photographs that we're reviewing, do you believe that those photographs are an accurate and truthful depiction and representation of the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
And as granted, those documents are part of the record. I do find proper notice with the received certified mail and the posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 7 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 2509 19th Street, CE 22070160.
Good morning, Todd Underwood, Code Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This city was cited July 14th. It was, certified mail was sent out July 15th and returned July 27th. I posted City Hall and the property on July 14th. I have not been in contact with anybody from there, and we're asking for 5 days or an abatement.
Thank you. Officer Underwood, do you have an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, I do.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
With respect to the alleged violations on the property, could you tell us what you observed that supports each allegation that you're making?
So there's trash and debris on the property. There's overgrowth.
Can you speak a
landscaping.
little bit more into the microphone? I don't think it's catching it, please.
You can hear me better?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry. There's trash and debris on the property. Overgrowth, landscaping needs attention. The garbage can placement's not correct. It's in the view of public. And it's been like this. It has a history of neglect for quite a while. That's why we're asking for the abatement.
This is a vacant, nobody's living there,
It's vacant,
right?
yeah, correct. It's vacant.
Could you tell us a little bit more? You talked about you just mentioned landscaping. Could you just describe it a little bit more, what you're seeing?
So the overgrowth on the sidewalk, like before, you can't walk down the sidewalk without walking around it. Now down for the next picture. Kind of on the side right there, yeah. Grass is growing over the fence, up alongside the house. The backyard has all kinds of garbage and debris, which all this attracts rodents, you know, all kinds of unwanted attention from animals, people, everything.
And are you asking for an abatement today?
I'm asking for 5 days or an abatement, yeah.
Okay, and so do you believe that the condition of the trash and debris and the overgrowth and the landscaping constitute a health, safety, and welfare
Yes, I
violation?
do. Yes.
Do you believe that they're an attractive nuisance for rodents and other critters and pests to come into the property?
Yes, that's correct, yep.
Have there been any complaints necessarily from any neighbors or people in the neighborhood?
I haven't had any contact with anybody from the neighborhood at all.
Okay. And officer, we've been reviewing photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs accurately and truthfully depict and represent the alleged violations on the property that you observed?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. I do find proper notice with the posting following the return of certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. I find that those violations do constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will accept the city's recommendation. I'll allow the respondent 5 additional days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And we have a respondent present for number 21, 803 Douglas Avenue, CE 22050275. No? 803 Douglas Avenue, Melvin Jackson. Okay.
They need to be sworn in, Magistrate. Douglas.
Sir, were you sworn in?
No.
When I swore everybody in? Let me go ahead and place you under oath if you raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. I'll be right back to get your name and address on the record after I hear from the city, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Good morning, Officer Luster with the City of West Palm. This case was initially started on 5/24/2022. Property in City Hall was posted on 7/20/22. I have spoken with a Michelle, which is property manager for the property, and the property certified mail was signed on 5/28/2022. The property was cited for failure to obtain a permit, but I'm gonna omit that because it was just the restoring of a asphalt driveway. Clean and sanitary of the property for its trash and debris, painting, rental license, certificate of use, garbage can placement, overgrowth, required parking, unpaved parking because the driveway was in disrepair, and parking markings and resurfacing of the driveway. All has come into compliance except for they have their application for the rental license, so they need the inspection for the rental license, and the car stops and car marking for the car spaces, parking spaces. Those are the only 3 outstanding violations on the property. So I'm asking for 60 more days or $100 per day.
All right, so 94-485E is still in violation?
94-485B1E for is marking, paving marking.
Oh, okay, I got the wrong one,
Yes,
okay.
that one is still
Gotcha.
outstanding. And the rental license and the car stops come up underneath the marking code.
So the license, that's the new code section 22?
Yes, sir.
441, that used to be 18-162.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Thank you, Officer Lester. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Does your file also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you please describe, just briefly for the record, so that we have a proper full record, the alleged violation, what it is about, what you're observing at the property for the lack of paved and marked parking?
Okay. In that picture there, you can see where the driveway was in disrepair. So they did a new asphalt lay, just did an overlay of the old asphalt, made it new. The only thing that has not been done in regards to that is the markings, the striping, and the car stops, and the unit inspections for the rental license. The building has been painted, the yard has been cut, the garbage cans have been kept in the proper place, so the property owner is complying or been very cooperative.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, or actually, I'm sorry, Officer Lester, the photographs that we've been reviewing of the remaining alleged violations, do those truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. Just tell me the parking stop code section, which one is
2.
that?
That's gonna be 94. Oh, I just took my glasses off 1 second. 485B1E.
Okay, so I have that one, and then,
And the resurfacing fell under 94485E.
okay, that's the other one.
Mhm.
And then the 22-441.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Yes, sir, if you could tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
My name is Melvin Jackson. My address is 4166 Emperor Drive in Lauderhill.
I need to interrupt for just a second.
Yes?
Mr. Jackson, can you just describe for the record how it is that you're involved with the respondent 1210 Investments LLC?
The LLC is mine.
So you're the
I'm the
member
owner.
or the principal?
I am.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
I believe, as Ms. Valerie said, most of the infractions have been taken care of. The painting was just recently done, and the striping was supposed to be a part of that. It didn't happen for whatever reason. But we are working on getting the striping done and the stops, the car stops. And the inspection, which is a duplex, 1 unit's empty, and we're gonna try and reschedule to get the inspector to come and look at the other unit.
All right, the city's recommendation is for 60 additional days, basically 2 more months. You feel comfortable with that time frame?
I do, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
that'll be it.
Okay, anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right, then with the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice. Respondent is also present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property has come into compliance with the code sections cited in the notice, with the exception of 94-485, B1E and E, and also new code 22-441, which formerly was resided at 18-162A. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 60 days for compliance. After that, the daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. So you want to make sure you get that buttoned up in the next 60 days so those fines don't start running. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Next case, number 4, 1310 Worthington Street, CE 22070005, number 4.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay. Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 1310 Worthington Street was initially cited on 7/1/22. Certified mail was sent on 7/5/22. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 7/5/22. Property was cited for 18162A, which is a rental license, and that code section, of course, has been amended. It was also cited for 22-32A certificate of use, 78-6 numbering standards, 94-451-A-4 artificial turf, and 105.1 failure to secure a building permit. This particular property was referred to us actually by one of the police sergeants. I believe someone communicated to them that this was a short-term rental that did not have any license whatsoever, to include the state license. And so upon doing a little bit of investigation, they did have a advertisement on social media, and so they were subsequently cited. As of last evening, the following sections have complied: 78-6, the numbering standards, they did post the characters onto the structure, and 94-481-A-4, the artificial turf was removed, and they did go ahead and place sod there. The remaining sections, 18162A, the rental license, and 22-32A, certificate of use, they did make application on 7/7 for the rental license. And I noted that on 7/13, they were failed by zoning because they didn't submit some necessary documentation. Let's see, also, they have not received the inspection by us for the rental license. So they're kind of in limbo in terms of the processing of the rental license. Let's see, with regard to 105.1, the failure to secure the building permit for the fence that was installed without a permit, they made application for the fence on 7/22. So this is what we have, and the city's requesting 45 additional days in order to comply, or a fine of $100 per day be imposed.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent via regular first-class mail?
Yes.
With respect to the fence, could you just describe a little bit more about what kind of a fence, where it was,
Okay.
and why it,
Okay.
what's the issue?
All right. What I noted upon the initial inspection, there's a fence that was, it pretty much surrounds the entire perimeter of the front of the property. A wooden fence, approximately 3.5 feet high, which it does require a permit. And as I said, they made application for the fence back on 7/22. But that's as far as it's gotten from what I noted in the city system.
Thank you. There was an advertisement that we saw while you were testifying of the rental on social media. Is that the document and information that you're relying on to reflect that it's being rented currently?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And the photographs that we have been reviewing during your testimony, do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you have observed on the property?
Yes, they do.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, application for the permit for the fence, the social media advertisement document, as well as the application for the rental license.
All right, thank you. Those documents are all made part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present. However, the city has proper notice with the signed certified mail, and you also posted the property in City Hall. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property remains in violation of City Code 105.1 regarding the building permit, 2232A regarding the certificate of use, and 22441, which used to reside at 18162A regarding the rental license. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 45 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Next case number 512 Clematis Street, CE 22070008.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 512 Clematis Street was initially cited on 7/1/22. Certified mail was sent on 7/5/22. The certified mail was returned. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 7/5/22. Property was cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary, 18106B, excessive growth, 74-4-C-5, cleanup of the right-of-ways adjacent to the property, and 94-105-C, prohibited use, more specifically outdoor storage. As of last evening, the following sections have complied: 18106B and 94-105-C. The following sections remain non-compliant: 18106E, 18106A, clean and sanitary, as there still remains some degree of trash on the property itself as well as in the right-of-way. And 74-4-C-5, cleanup of the right-of-way. There's a huge pile of trash. Well, it looks like somebody cut down a tree or something, but there's a huge pile of debris that remains in the right-of-way.
That's still sitting there?
It's still sitting
And that's
there.
all dead. It looks like it's probably been there a while.
Yeah, I don't know if someone brought it in from another area and dumped it.
Regardless.
Very, very possible, but nevertheless, they are responsible for the maintenance of the right-of-way.
Thank you. Officer Williams, do you have an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, I do.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
With respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing during your testimony, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged remaining violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, they do.
Just for the record, have you been able to have any type of contact with any representative or for the property?
Yes, actually, sometime shortly after citing the property, initially, there was a gentleman there who was actually cutting the property, and so he and I did have some conversation. He indicated that they were aware of the notice with regard to the conditions of the property, and he indicated that that they were going to take care of them, and they did. In all fairness to them, they did cut the high grass They removed the outdoor storage, but the cleanup of the right-of-way and some trash still remains on the property.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the record in this case. I do find proper notice with the certified mail that was returned and the posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation of City Code 18106A and 744C5, but has complied with 18106B and 94105C. Tell me again how much time you want for compliance.
Let's see. Let's give them 14 days, 14 additional days, or a fine of $100 per day be imposed.
You know, all we're talking about is cleaning up the,
Cleanup of the right-of-way and also some trash and
no, I think 14
debris,
days is
actually.
reasonable in this case. I'll accept that recommendation, allow 14 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 6, 1531 39th Street, CE 2206065.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 1531 39th Street was originally cited on June 14, 2022. Regular as well as certified mail was sent out June 17, 2022. That was received June 21st, 2022. The property as well as City Hall was posted on June 27, 2022, and an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. To date, I have had contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 34102A, which is a junk or abandoned vehicle parked at the residence there, and 9471-C for outdoor storage. As of yesterday, 9471-C has been complied. However, 34102A is still present. There's the silver vehicle there with no tag on it at the property. The city is requesting 30 days to bring the property into compliance or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Williams, we've been reviewing photographs during your testimony about the remaining alleged outstanding violation. Is the no tag the issue that makes this a junk or abandoned vehicle
Yes, ma'am.
or inoperative?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it just that vehicle, or is there any other vehicle?
Yes, that's the only one.
Okay. And do the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged observations or the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record in this case. Based on the certified mail that was received, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code 34102A, but has complied with City Code 9471C. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 7, 4101 Hayden Ave, CE 2206096.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property here at 4101 Hayden Avenue was originally cited June 16, 2022. Certified mail and as well as regular mail was sent out June 17, 2022. That was received June 21st, 2022. The property was hand-delivered to the property owner as well as City Hall posted on June 27, 2022. An affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. I've had contact with the owner over the last few weeks. She's currently in the hospital battling some respiratory issues. She was originally cited for 105.1 failure to secure a permit for the fences that were constructed on the property. 110.1 for the inspections that are required from the permits. 78-6 for numbering standards. She just needs to place the address characters on the home there, and 94-302-B for the fence that was in excess of 6 feet that was placed on the property. As of yesterday, all violations are still current on the property. So the city is actually, because she's in the hospital and probably will be in the hospital for the next few weeks, city is requesting 120 days to bring the property into compliance or a $100 a day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Williams, could you just describe a little bit about what we're seeing in the photographs? Is it the wooden fence or the brick fence?
It's actually both. I noticed the wooden fence at first when returning to the office. She constructed the brick fence without a permit as well. And so she needs a permit for both, which she is working with. She's already gotten the survey done, but with her health issues that she's experiencing, that's kind of pushing her back there a little bit. So it's both fences and then obviously no address characters on the home.
Very good, thank you. And the photographs that we have been reviewing, do those truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. So it looks like this is all going to get wrapped up at the same time. Once the fence is inspected, she's going to have to bring it down to the correct height.
Yes.
And that'll go through the permitting process, so.
Yeah, she's already got one side done.
Okay.
So it just, with her health issues, it's kind of delaying everything. So she just needs to get the other side done to 4 feet and then get everything inspected.
Okay. Well, respondent's not present, but you've got like the trifecta of notice. You got certified mail and hand delivery and posting, so definitely find proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 120 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 8, 415 50th Street, CE 22050014.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on May 5th. Certified mail was sent May 6th. Certified mail was received May 9th. City Hall was posted on May 10th. This property was cited for repair interior walls and floors, plumbing fixtures, and bathroom, kitchen, and floors. Compliant violations. Well, compliant violations as of yet, there are nothing. Everything is still outstanding. I've spoke with a tenant just 3 days ago that let me know that everything was still in the same situation. She said that the plumbing hadn't been repaired and there was still seemed to be water seepage on the walls and ceiling. I haven't had any correspondence with the homeowner or property management that manages the properties of this, because there's I think about 8 of them in the same little area. So with that, the city is requesting 30 days to comply, or $150 per day after.
Thank you, Officer Watkins. It was very difficult for me to hear while you were testifying. I apologize. Is an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And in addition to the certified mail that was sent, was the notice of violation also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And I know you said posting, but I didn't catch where, so was
Yeah,
the...
I posted, City Hall was posted, and I did it on May the 10th. And I posted the property as well.
Okay, thank you. And with respect to your testimony, we've been reviewing some photographs. Could you just describe a little bit about what you observed that
Like in that
supports
one,
your
there's
allegations?
sewage that came out up the toilet, and that's hanging around the backside. There's also around the bathtub areas as well, and a few more images that probably come up with the same issue. And the floors have been saturated. You can see where there were water and it started separating the paint. I didn't attach the pictures that were sent via the tenants because they weren't a part of something that I've witnessed and seen, so I didn't attach those.
And do these photographs, these are what photographs you took?
Yes.
And do you believe that these photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation. Allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $150 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 9, 711 49th Street, CE 22050056.
City of West Beach, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on May the 6th. Certified mail was sent May the 6th. Certified mail was received on May the 9th. City Hall was posted on May the 10th. This property was cited for clean and sanitary, for trash and debris, parking requirements, unpaved parking, landscape areas that haven't been sodded, and early garbage cans put out early. As of yesterday, the items that were in compliance were the trash can placement and the parking requirements. They were parking in the driveway now. The items that are still out of compliance are landscape, which is, they haven't put down any grass at all as of yet. And the garbage can receptacles that are right there in front of the vehicles. Every day, they're always there. So, but this one, the city is requesting 40 days or $100 per day after.
Did you say 40?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit indicate that a notice of violation was also sent by first-class certified mail, first-class regular mail?
Yes.
And was the property posted with the notice?
Yes, it was.
And just to be very clear, 18106A, is that outstanding?
That's complied.
That's complied.
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to 7434A1J, is that complied or outstanding?
That's still outstanding. There's still put them in front of the vehicles.
Okay. So the 7435A is complied, is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And you indicated 94442C1 is still outstanding?
Yes.
And 9442A is complied?
Yes.
Can you just briefly describe, you talked about the garbage can that's still visible to the public. Can you just briefly describe what it is about the landscaping that you believe constitutes an alleged violation?
Right there, there is none. In certain areas, it's just complete sand.
Okay. And you're referring to some photographs that we're reviewing during your testimony, is that accurate?
Yes.
And do these photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed at the property?
Yes, all of them.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are all part of the record. Respondent is not present. However, the city has proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code 7434A1J and 94442C1, but has complied with the other code sections that were cited in the notice. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 40 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 10, 644 58th Street, CE 22050198.
City of West Beach Code Compliance, Robert Watkins. This property was cited on May the 10th. Certified mail was sent May 19th. Certified mail was returned June 28th. City Hall was posted on May the 10th. This property was cited for junk abandoned vehicle, oversized yard waste, swelling of the parkways, sodding of the swell, fence and wall maintenance, and outdoor storage. All violations remain out of compliance except for oversized yard waste that was picked up. When it comes to this, the city is requesting additional 40 days and or $100 per day after.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
Does that affidavit indicate that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Was the property posted with the notice of violation?
Yes, on the front door.
And with respect to all the outstanding alleged violations, could you please describe what you observed?
When I first sighted this property, it was just a large amount of yard waste in the front. You can see there in the image. They've had that removed. The swell on both sides need to have sod. There were several areas where there was just bare. If you look for a few more images, there's a fence that's on the west side of the property, which is broken, and the hinges kind of leaning in. That picture right there shows an inoperable vehicle that's been there with no tag. There's also a large amount of trash and debris in outdoor storage, or a washer machine I saw yesterday, a couple ladders and things of that nature, just all piled up on the west side of the property.
Thank you. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, those documents are made part of the record. The respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting following the return certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, except for Code Section 7435B7 regarding the oversized yard waste, which has complied. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 40 days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 11, 4007 Garden Avenue, CE 22060194.
Good morning. Richard Pazmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 15th. Certified mail was sent out June 17th. It was signed received June 21st. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on June 21st. Affidavit of posting in the file. This property was cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary, dirty sidewalk, trash debris on the property, residential paint required. There was vegetation, trees hanging into the sidewalk, fence repair, and landscape maintenance general. I have spoke to the owner, and as of Monday, violation 18106G has complied, and some of the pressure washing has been done. He is requesting additional time to get the fence fixed. The city's recommending 30 additional days to comply with the remaining violations, or we're asking for a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you. Officer Pazmino, does your executed affidavit of posting also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And we've been reviewing some photographs during your testimony. Can you just give us a little bit more testimony with regard to the outstanding alleged violations of what you observed?
Yes, so what's outstanding is the sidewalk still needs pressure washing. It looks like he only pressure washed the driveway. The sidewalks are dirty, stained. There is still some vegetation hanging over into the right-of-way. It's a corner property, so there's two sidewalks. One of the sides still needs the trees trimmed. The fence, obviously, is dilapidated, falling over. He needs to repair that.
And Officer Pazmino, you're referring to the wooden fence that we're seeing going around the perimeter of the property. Is that accurate?
Yes, the 4-foot wooden fence around
Thank
the
you.
property. And then landscape maintenance. He said he is going to put grass down in the yard, so within 30 days.
Okay. And is there anything else about the landscaping? Is it overgrown, or it just needs some ground cover or sod?
I think some of the trees, I think he already trimmed that. Just the ground, so just the ground cover, the trees that are hanging into the right of way, and continue to cut the overgrowth as it grows, like right there.
Thank you. And is there anything in disrepair about the chain link fence that's part of this case, or no?
No, not that I.
Very good. Thank you. The photographs that we have been reviewing, do you believe that those truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, they do.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. City has proper notice with the certified mail and posting in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 18106G regarding paint, which has complied. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for the outstanding violations to be cured. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 12, 732 West Lakewood Road, CE 22060230.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 18th. Certified mail was sent out June 21st. It was returned. In addition, the property and City Hall were both posted on June 21st. This property was cited for roof repair. The garage at this property is caving in. The AC unit that's on the roof is falling in to the roof. Garage roof, walls, foundation. That garage as well. There's another part of the roof. There's better pictures that I'll show. Clean and sanitary, there's trash debris on the property. Sidewalks could use pressure washing. Excessive growth. Unsanitary pool. There's a pool that's mostly drained, but it accumulates water and it's green and it's stagnant. Overgrown grass in the yard and landscape maintenance. I've had no contact. Since citing it, there have been no changes at the property. And from Google Street View, it appears the roof has been caving in since at least November of last year. The city is recommending 30 additional days or a fine of $150 a day for 18103A and 18103B. And I'm asking for a split order. So 14 days or a fine of $75 a day for all remaining violations, the overgrowth, the pool, the trash, the debris.
Thank you, Officer Pasmino. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, I posted it on June 21st and turned in the affidavit.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
With respect to the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes.
And you described everything. Can you just take a moment on the landscape, what it is you're seeing there that you believe is an alleged violation?
So the stuff outside the fence is clearly overgrown, unmaintained. And if you walk up to the fence, you can see the front yard is totally overgrown, unmaintained. So no kind of landscaping is being done.
Okay, thank you. And to your knowledge, is the fence secure surrounding the pool?
Yes, it is.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present at today's hearing. Quick question. I know the pool doesn't appear to have much water in it. Is it got the correct pool barrier around it, though, or is it exposed?
It has a fence, so it's secure. It's just he's not treating or taking care of the water. It's
Okay,
just-
great. All right, and based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I assume this is a vacant.
I think someone lives there. That's different vehicles. The posting was removed.
Really?
But yeah, no contact.
Okay. Property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation for a bifurcated order in this case. We'll allow 14 days for compliance with the outstanding violations, or after that, daily fines of $75 per day, except for City Code Sections 18103A and B, which will be allowed 30 additional days for compliance, but after that, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 13, 1011 West Lakewood Road, CE 22060233.
Richard Pasmino, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 18th. Certified mail was sent out June 21st. In addition, the notice violation notice of hearing was posted at the property in City Hall on June 21st. At that time, I turned in the affidavit of posting. This property was cited for Florida Building Code 105.1, failure to secure a building permit for a fence that was erected at the property. The permit was applied, it was never issued or printed. Code section 18106A, trash and debris on the property, and overgrowth, excessive growth. I did have contact initially with a representative for the property. That was maybe late June. Since then, I haven't heard anything, and there has been no changes at the property. It's continuing to get worse every day. Looks like someone smashed in the window. The mailbox is falling off. It's vacant. The city's asking for 7 days to abate the violations, the overgrowth, the trash and debris, and the city's asking for 30 days or a fine of $200 a day for the permit required.
Thank you, Officer Pasmino. Does your file also reflect through the affidavit that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And we've been reviewing photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes.
And are you, did I understand, are you asking on the overgrowth and trash and debris for an abatement, if not brought into compliance within 7 days?
Yes, I'm asking for an abatement.
And can you just briefly describe more of what you're seeing in that respect?
Every time I drive by, the property's looking worse. Like I said, people seems to be messing with it, leaving their trash on the property. It's not good for the neighborhood. The overgrowth, clearly.
Do you believe that the trash and debris and overgrowth constitute a health, safety, and welfare issue for the city?
Yes, it does.
Do you believe that the condition of the property that you're seeing is an attractive nuisance for either vagrants or people breaking windows, attracting vermin and other pests?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the wooden fence permit 210400905.
That is granted. Those documents are made part of the record. I didn't get, was the certified mail received or returned?
It was returned.
It was returned. All right. But you posted the property after that, so the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence that the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation in this case for the violation of City Code 105.1. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. For the violations of City Code 18106A and B, I agree. I find that those violations constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will allow the respondent 7 days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate those violations, and assess the costs.
Number 14, 5409 Garden Avenue, CE 22060287.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on June 23rd. Certified mail was sent out the same day, June 23rd. It was signed received on June 25th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on, I think, July 21st. Sorry. This property was cited for restricted vehicle in a residential area. The location it's stored is right in the front setback, the front yard, in front of the front face of the building. So it needs to be stored in the proper location. Restricted vehicle. storage. Screening requirements, okay, oh, I'm sorry, the 94-487B-4A, it does appear like the RV is being occupied. The slide out is extended at all times. There's hoses connected, power cords. I've even heard the AC running inside with the electricity connected. Screening requirements, the property is it's not properly screened. I've had no contact. There have been no changes. Still appears occupied. Still connected to the hoses, the electricity. The city's recommending 10 days to come into compliance with these code sections, or I'm asking for a fine of $100 a day.
Thank you, Officer Pasmino. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
And just to be clear, the restricted vehicle that we're talking about in all of these alleged violations is that black and white RV that we saw in the photos?
Yes.
And if it's screened, that RV can stay or no?
It could stay on the side, past the front building line, and it would need screening, and it has to be unoccupied.
Okay, that was my next question. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged observations that you've observed on the property?
Yes.
And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. And just so I'm clear, regardless of whether they got it into a storage scenario that was code compliant, nobody can occupy it.
Yeah, it can't be occupied
I mean,
at all on the
pictures are
property.
pretty clear with the utility hookups.
Yeah.
The power and looked like a sewage line running out of it. And the sidewalls extended. You said you heard the air conditioners.
Yeah, when I posted it, and even when I did my reinspection, I heard the AC running.
Okay. All right, well, with the signed certified mail, you have proper notice even though the respondent's not present. I do find property remains in violation as cited. Not for nothing, how they got that thing in there.
Yeah, I don't know. They
That's
must have
some
removed part of the fence.
That's some impressive maneuvering,
Yeah.
because there's no gate in the front. They had to work around that utility pole and everything. Regardless, that doesn't mitigate against the fact that the property is in violation. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 10 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Numbers 15 through 19 are rescheduled. Number 15, 4303 West Terrace Drive, CE 22060291. Number 16, 808 41st Street, CE 22070017. Number 17, 843rd Street, CE 22070019. Number 18, 4004 Greenwood Avenue, CE 22070022. And number 19, 919 44th Street, CE 22070086. Number 20, 901 North Sapodale Avenue, CE 22040303.
Okay, good morning.
Morning again.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This case was initiated on 4/22/22. The property in City Hall was posted on 7/20/2022. Certified mail was returned to us on 4/27/22. I have spoke with the owner of the property and the CRA. This is a property that has been put under contract with the CRA to have a total redo. And the property was cited for failure to obtain permits for windows and parking lot, painting, litter, trash, and debris, rental license, certificate of use, junk and inoperable vehicles, garbage can placement, garbage, debris, and overgrowth. The 7835 dangerous driveway, I'm omitting. The number of standards on the units. And landscape requirements of all open spaces, landscaping of swell area, and the marking and paving of the parking lot, and the proper permits for the parking lot. I'm asking for 1 year or $100 per day.
You said they're working with the city's CRA?
Already signed a contract with the CRA,
Okay,
and they both asked for the 1 year.
okay.
Special Magistrate, could I take a moment with my officer?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My apologies, Special Magistrate. Thank you, Officer Luster. Do you have an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent via regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
We've been reviewing some photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent your observations of the alleged violations on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you just briefly describe what it is about the windows and parking lot that you feel are a violation?
He basically put in new storm windows without permits, so the windows were replaced. The parking lot is in just disrepair, needs to be resurfaced, restriped, new car stops. So that's what's going on with the parking lot. And the other violations for is the perimeter of the property. It's a weird shape, sitting property. It sits at the frontage of the sidewalk at Sapodilla and 8th Street, but it abuts the alley between 9th Street. It's elongated property, and it's a weird setting property. So all of the, it's a little knee wall right there. You see the little knee wall? And the property line goes beyond that knee wall, so he needs to landscape all that and, bring it into compliance.
Thank you. You talked about inoperative vehicles. Are they the two, the red and the silver that we're seeing?
They're still remaining there.
Okay. And what is it that makes them inoperative?
Well, sometimes they're jacked up, no tires. Well, sometimes the hoods are up, but they never move. Sometimes they're just sitting on jacks, or sometimes they're not sitting on jacks, but vehicles technically just sit, never move.
So
They don't have tags either.
And they what?
They don't have any tags.
Oh, that would do it. As well, in terms of the rental, what is it that you have learned or observed that you
He
believe
has
it's
one
rented?
tenant, but during the renovations, he's gonna remove the tenant because it's gonna be a total inside and outside redo. So he's not gonna rent the property during the 1 year of the renovation, but he will be renting the property.
Thank you very much. I believe I did this, but not sure. These photographs truthfully and accurately represent your observations of the alleged violations on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, noting the 18162A is now 22441. Under the circumstances, I will accept the city's recommendation, allow a 1 year for compliance to be achieved, based on the city's CRA working with this, I guess attempting to acquire this property.
They're not done acquiring it.
Or
They
just-
went into contract to have,
Have it renovated or,
yeah, to upgrade the property along with the
Rehabilitated.
owner. And he put in, I think, almost 80 grand on his own, so they went into contract to have it upgraded.
Very good. 1 year or $100 per day after that.
Yes, sir.
So ordered. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Number 22 is complied, 1119 Freshwater Lakes Drive, CE 22050287. Number 23, 701 Clear Lake Drive, CE 22050312.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was initiated on 5/26/2022, posted City Hall and property 7/19/2022. I have had email contact with the property owner, and the property certified mail was signed on 5/31/2022. The property was cited for landscape maintenance, junk inoperable junk vehicles in public view, garbage can placement, garbage litter and refuge, obstruction of public right-of-way, meaning sidewalk, landscape requirements, and outdoor storage. Everything except for the landscaping and open space and the garbage can placement has complied. Everything else is in compliance. I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day.
Is that 94-442C1 that's still outstanding?
No, sir. They did that. They just have not removed the garbage cans or recycle bins out of view of public, and they have not landscaped the open spaces.
Yeah, landscape area must be grass, landscape, that's
That's 94-442C1.
still in violation.
Yes, sir.
And then the garbage can.
Yes, sir.
Never ceases to amaze me. That seems like the easiest one to fix, and it's always one of the ones that's still outstanding, the garbage can. Just put them away.
He's
At any rate.
out-of-town landlord, so,
Yep.
you know,
Okay.
sometimes it's difficult to manage property from another place.
Thank you. Officer Luster, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also indicate that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the landscaped areas
Mhm.
that you believe are an alleged violation, we've been reviewing photographs during your testimony. Was it the front yard, or was it any other parts of the property?
It's the front yard and that area there.
Okay,
That's basically mostly dirt. They used to park on that area. That's probably why they wore the grass down in some of that area.
thank you.
But all of the cars are moved now, so that's a blessing.
Thank you. And do the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you talked about email correspondence.
Mhm.
Is there just one time, more than one time?
Twice.
Twice. And
Twice.
are those emails a part of your file?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Special
I
Magistrate.
noted it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I noted it.
Okay, very good. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and email correspondence.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. Respondent is not present at today's hearing. However, with the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation of City Code 7434A1J and 94-442C1, but has complied with all other code sections that were cited in the notice. Tell me again what remedy you're seeking.
30 days or $100 per day?
Yeah, I think given the outstanding violations, that's reasonable. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 24, 1386 Ninth Court, CE 22050346.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was initiated on 5/27/2022. Property was posted at City Hall on 7/19/2022. Certified mail was signed on 6/7/2022. I've had no contact with this property owner. I cited the property for roof, walls, and foundation. The roof, is in disrepair, because it still is. Clean sanitary condition, landscape requirements, rental license, certificate of use, garbage can placement, overgrowth, cleaning up one half of easement area and outdoor storage. What remains on the property? All of them. They have attempted to mow the yard, but it constantly just falls out of compliance. And I try to explain to people that during the summer, grass grows as fast in Florida as it does anywhere. So I've had no contact with the owner. I had contact with the tenant upon posting. She says she understands, but she can't repair a roof. And I did ask her, was it in the lease in regarding who maintains the yard? And she said it was the owner's responsibility, so the yard is still not being maintained. So I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day.
And everything's still outstanding?
Yes, sir.
on This one, yeah.
Thank you, Officer Lester. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
In regard to the roof, could you tell us a little bit about what you feel is in disrepair?
It's a blue tarp that's laying over the A-frame of the roof, and it has been in disrepair for a very long time. I was really surprised that they rented it with the roof being in disrepair.
And could you tell us about the trash and debris that you feel is on the property?
It's mainly just yard waste that's constantly around the property. But at one point, it was other kind of debris under the carport.
Okay. And we did see a photograph that indicated that the place was for rent. Is that still the current situation?
Yes, ma'am.
And the trash can is still visible to the public, is that accurate?
Yeah, she moved it from that particular spot and put it on the side of the utility area right there. So
Thank
it
you.
went from one side of the utility to the back side of the utility.
Thank you. And could you just describe what you observed with regard to outside storage?
If you go to one of the pictures, you can see under the carport when they moved in, they had like a sofa. You can't really see it real good, but I walked up on it, so I could see it good. It was like a inside sofa.
We see in some of the pictures a pod.
That's next door.
That's next door, very
Yeah.
good.
That's next
Thank
door.
you. Special
I'm on that one,
Magistrate,
too.
the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record in this case. With the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though a respondent has not appeared at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 25, 1451 Crossway, CE 2205039.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was initiated on 5/31/2022. Property and City Hall was posted on 7/19/2022. Cert mail was returned on 7/22/2022. I have spoke to one of the property owners. It's 5 property owners. The head property owner passed away about a month ago, but luckily I wrote it to all of them, so I covered my bases on that one. And he's asking for 90 days or $100 per day to replace some windows that was broken, clean the sanitary condition, paint the house, garbage can placement, outdoor storage, and that's it. So,
Thank you. Officer Luster, do you have an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And we've been reviewing some photographs during your testimony. Do you believe that the photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the outstanding violations, what you saw in your observations?
Well, the roof needed pressure cleaning, which they actually started that yesterday. And the house is in need of painting. Some little bad kids broke the windows on the front there, which I do have a witness to that too, by the way. They need to pressure clean the driveway and the sidewalk. The garbage can placement is, he understands that it has to be out of view of public. And some of the outdoor storage that's still around the property.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 90 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 27, 1435 8th Street, CE 220503880.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property initiated on 5/31/2022. City Hall and home was posted on 7/19/2022. Certified mail was returned to us on 6/7/2022. I have spoke with the owner. She's asked for 60 days or $100 per day for painting, cleaning sanitary condition, garbage can placement, hedge obstructing right-of-way, obstructing roadway, parking in swell parkway, fence repair, unpaved parking, and resurfacing of the driveway. All that's in compliance is the painting is finished. The driveway needs to still be resurfaced, and the fence is still in disrepair. So she's asking for the 60 days to driveway, fence, and driveway fence, and what was the other one? That's it.
Thank you,
Those are on two
Officer.
outstanding.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Those are on two violations still outstanding.
Okay. So the ones outstanding would be 94-485E and 94-302A4?
94-302A4 fence in disrepair.
Yeah.
And the driveway 94-4585E, I'm sorry.
Very good, thank you. And Officer Lester, do you have an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to the remaining outstanding violations, could you just tell us a little bit more in detail what it is about a fence or gate and what it is about the driveway?
The fence is just dilapidated around the entire property. It's pulled away from the posts. The actual chain link itself is in disrepair, falling away. It's a very old fence, and she's gonna have it repaired. Some of the actual fencing, she's just gonna have it refenced. The postings are doing pretty good, but the refencing of the gate, the fencing itself is in disrepair. And I do wanna make one correction. The unpaved parking in the swell is also outstanding. I should have a picture on that one.
I'm sorry, the unpaved parking,
In the swell, the 86-226 parking in Parkway swell, that's still
that's
outstanding.
complied?
That's outstanding,
That's still outstanding.
yes,
Okay.
So everything but painting is outstanding.
yeah.
And Officer Lester, what is it about the driveway?
The driveway is in disrepair, it needs to be paved.
Okay. And we're looking at a picture now, is that what you're referring
Yes,
to?
ma'am.
And
Mhm.
you're seeing some
Yes, ma'am.
breakaway of the asphalt and,
Mhm. It's just deteriorated.
okay.
Mhm.
And you talked about parking in the parkway or swale.
Mhm. You should see that car.
Okay, so you're referring to a blue car. Are you seeing any other cars? And are you seeing this on multiple days?
It's a constant parking on the swell. It's a constant.
Thank you. The photographs that we've been reviewing during your testimony, do they truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record in this case. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property remains in violation as cited with the exception of City Code 18106G regarding painting, which has complied. I'll allow 60 additional days to cure the outstanding violations. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all have a good day.
Number 29, 4131 San Marino Boulevard, 104 CE 22050263.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4271 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 108, was cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. This is actually a renewal of the rental license. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail and regular mail went out May 24th. Certified mail was returned June 8th. I have not made contact with the property owner, but the renewal has subsequently been paid. It was actually, reinspection was due June 10th. Compliance was completed on July 21st. With that being said, city's recommending a finding of fact on this one.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your, well, actually, back up. Erica, did you call 29 or 30? Because we're doing 30, I thought.
We already heard
That's what we're doing?
28. Yeah, I called 29. We heard 28.
Actually, we're hearing 30, because, Paul, you just did 4271 San Marino Boulevard, 108. right?
Okay, then I'll abstract that. We'll do
So,
4131 San Marino.
well, I mean, we can finish number 30 if Erica, if you call it, I guess.
Why don't we,
No, let's do it properly. Let's back up.
so that I'm just following along, that your testimony related to agenda item
It's,
number.
my testimony is actually related to 4131.
Wait a minute, which one?
All right, so I mean, we can do this one of two ways. We can either, you know what, the cleanest way, let's just strike your testimony. We're on agenda item 29, which is 4131 San Marino, Unit 104. We'll strike your previous testimony. Go ahead and put the testimony on the record for 4131, Unit 104, and then we'll just go from there.
All right, very good.
Does that make sense?
Very good.
Okay.
All right. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4131 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 104, was originally cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. This is a renewal of that certificate and rental license. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail, as well as regular mail, was sent May 24th. Certified mail was returned June 15th. I did confirm with management that the unit is still being rented. The original reinspection for this was June 10th. The property did come into compliance on July 21st. With that being said, city is recommending a finding of fact on this property.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. I do apologize for before. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I believe there was a photograph of posting. Does that photograph accurately depict the address in question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Well, those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice. What was the date that
Date of compliance was July 21st.
but no, what was the date that?
Of reinspection?
The notice of violation required compliance by?
The date notice of violation?
The date of the notice of violation
May 23rd.
and the date that the notice requested compliance by.
June 10th.
Okay, so the NOV required compliance by June 10th. Actual compliance was not until July 21st.
Correct.
Therefore, I will issue a finding of fact in this case, since property is in compliance, but it did not comply within the time frame required by the notice of violation.
Number 30, 4271 San Marino Boulevard, 108 CE 22050264.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4271 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 108, was originally cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. This is also a renewal of that certificate and rental license. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent May 24th. Certified mail was returned June 8th. I did confirm with management office that the unit is being used as a rental property still. I made a number of phone calls to try to get this bill paid and up to date, to no avail. As of Monday and Tuesday, the bill still remains unpaid. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Does your record or your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Correct.
And we reviewed a couple of photographs during your testimony. Do they accurately depict the
Correct.
address in question for this case?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. The city has proper notice with its posting following the return of certified mail, even though the respondent is not present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation, allow additional 15 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 31, 4280 San Marino Boulevard, 203 CE 22050265.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4280 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 203, was originally cited for rental license violation, certificate of use. This is a renewal of that rental license and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent May 25th. Certified mail was returned May 30th. I did confirm with management that the unit is still occupied and being rented. I made a number of phone calls to the property owner, left messages, no one returned my phone call. And as of Monday and Tuesday, the bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
And I believe we've reviewed a photograph during your testimony. Does that photograph accurately depict the address in question for this case?
Yes, it does.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs. And for the record, alleged violation under 18162A, that section has now been changed to 22-441.
All right, thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. Yeah, I was gonna, looks like for all of Mr. McFarland's cases, 18162A, which was the former code section, is cited. That now resides at 22441. So we'll make sure the orders reflect that that code section was moved to the new code section, but it's the same substantive violation. That'll be for all of your cases for the rest of the agenda. Based on the testimony, well, first of all, I do find proper notice with the posting following the return to certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. I will find a property remains in violation as cited, accept the city's recommendation, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 32, 4220 San Marino Boulevard, 205 CE 22050266.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4220 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 205, was cited for certificate of use, rental license violation. This is also a renewal of that license and certificate of use. I have confirmed with management that the property is still being rented. City Hall, as well as the property, was posted July 19th. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent out May 24th. Certified mail was returned June 8th. As of Monday and Tuesday, the bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, city is recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And I believe we reviewed a photograph. Does that photograph accurately represent the address in question for this case?
Yes, it does.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. City has proper notice with the posting following the return certified mail, even though the respondent is not present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 33, 4131 San Marino Boulevard, 106 CE 22050267.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 23rd, the property at 4131 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 106, was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. This is a renewal of that rental license and certificate. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail as well as regular mail went out May 24th. Certified mail was returned May 30th. I have confirmed with management that the property is still being rented. I made several phone calls to the property owner to assess and make payment for these rental license. As of Monday and Tuesday, the license still remain outstanding. With that being said, city is recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. And we've been reviewing a photograph during your testimony. Does that accurately depict the address for this case that you posted the property?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record in this case. The city has proper notice with posting following return certified mail, even though the respondent did not appear at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 34, 8196 Quail Meadow Way, CE 22050-298.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 24th, the property at 8196 Quail Meadow Way was cited for a rental license violation, certificate of use. This is a renewal of that rental license and certificate of use. The notice was hand-delivered to the tenant and posted at City Hall on July 21st. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent May 26th. Certified mail was returned June 27th. I did have a conversation with this property owner. He was aware that the bill was outstanding for two years running. As of Monday and Tuesday, the bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days to come into compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. We've also reviewed a photograph during your testimony. Does that photograph, or did the photographs, excuse me, accurately depict your hand delivery to the tenant?
Yes, it does.
And accurately depict that it is in relation to this address, 8196 Quail Meadow Way?
Correct.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. The city has proper notice in this case with the hand delivery. You also had posting and return certified mail. The testimony and the evidence shows me that the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 35, 1701 Village Boulevard, 208 CE 22050-318.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 26th, the property at 1701 Village Boulevard, Unit 208, was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. This is a renewal of that rental license and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail as well as regular mail went out May 27th. Certified mail was returned June 15th. I did send an email out to the property owner stating a list of all outstanding properties that need to be rectified. As of Monday and Tuesday, the bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days to come into compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
And we also saw during your testimony a sheet that was entitled or indicated payment options. Was that a part of your email that you
Yes,
sent?
ma'am.
Thank you. And we also saw photographs which depicted posting. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict posting for this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, as well as the email with payment option attachment.
All right, thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. I will find proper notice in this case with the posting and certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 36, 1733 Village Boulevard, 208 CE 22050334.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 26th, the property at 1733 Village Boulevard, Unit 208, was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. This is a renewal of the rental license and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail, as well as regular mail, went out June 1st. Certified mail was returned June 16th. I did send out an email to the property manager listing all outstanding properties. As of Monday and Tuesday, this bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, city's recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, it does.
And with respect to the email that you testified about, did that email also contain an attachment with payment options?
Yes, it did.
Thank you. When we reviewed some photographs, do those photographs accurately represent and depict the posting you did at this property in question?
It does.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and email correspondence with attachments.
Those documents are made part of the record. I will find proper notice in this case, even though the respondent did not appear at today's hearing. I will find that the property remains in violation as cited. Accept the city's recommendation, allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 37, 1109 Green Pine Boulevard, C1 CE 22050340.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 27th, the property at 1109 Green Pine Boulevard, Unit C1, was cited for a rental license violation, certificate of use. This is a renewal of the rental license and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 21st. Certified mail and regular mail was sent June 1st. Certified mail was returned June 29th. I did confirm with the property management that the property is still being rented. I made several attempts to call the property owner. No one has returned my phone call. I have not spoken to anyone. As of Monday and Tuesday, this bill still remains outstanding. With that being said, the city is recommending 15 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
It does.
And was there any type of email correspondence and payment option attachment provided to the respondent?
It was.
Okay, and is that a part of your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And I think we also reviewed a document which was a screenshot or printout showing the lack of payment and or renewal status of the property. Is that an accurate depiction of the current status of the property?
Correct.
Thank you. And we also reviewed photographs with regard to posting at the property. Do those truthfully and accurately represent that you posted this property in question?
It does.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, email correspondence with attachment, as well as the document printout showing the status of the rental license payment or renewal.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present at today's hearing, but the city has proper notice with the posting and the returned certified mail. I find the property remains in violation as cited and accept the city's recommendation. I'll allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 38 is complied, 8170 Okeechobee Boulevard, number 3, CE 22050349. Number 39, 4333 Chalmers Lane, CE 22060088.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On June 9th, the property at 4333 Chalmers Lane was cited for clean and sanitary, rental license violation, and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail was sent, as well as regular mail, on June 9th. Certified mail was received June 13th. I have since been in contact with the property manager. She has entered an application for the rental license. It still needs to be, the property still needs to be inspected to obtain that license. As for the clean and sanitary, that one is still outstanding. Driveway needs to be pressure washed. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer McFarland, is there also an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, it is.
And with regard to, we were looking at some photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately represent and depict the alleged violations that you observed on the property?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the rental application.
Those documents are made part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city had proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
And number 40, 5318 Ellerly Terrace, CE 22060090.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On June 9th, the property at 5318 Ellery Terrace was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted July 19th. Certified mail, as well as regular mail, was sent June 9th. Certified mail was received June 14th. I've since come in contact with the property manager. She assures me that the application for this rental property will be emailed to me and processed. So I'm just waiting on that. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Does your file also reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
And did you email or have any email communication with the manager, or no?
Oh, it was phone conversation.
Okay, thank you. And the photographs that we've reviewed while you're testifying, do those accurately depict the posting that you made on the property in question?
Correct.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. In this case, respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
All right, I think that concludes our 9 o'clock agenda. Next agenda is scheduled to begin at 11:30, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, then we will be in recess for about 25 minutes, and then we'll be back. Let's go back to work here. It's 11:30. We are in the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement hearing agenda on the lien reduction applications. Looks like we have 7 separate properties. I'm guessing none of the folks who are here were here this morning at 9 o'clock. So I do need to swear everybody in who's going to be speaking to me about your application. If you please stand and raise your right hands, I can swear everybody in together. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You can have a seat. The way we will proceed, I believe everybody has signed in, so when your case is called, come on up to the podium over here to my right. First, I'm going to get some background information from the city on the lien that's on the property appraiser's information on the property, and the city will likely make a recommendation on what they believe is the appropriate reduction amount. Once I've heard from the city, I'll then come over to you and you can tell me about your application, the request for your lien reduction, what you're seeking, and then after I've heard from everybody, I will enter an order on the request for the reduction. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
First case number 1-1807 Embassy Drive, number 101 CE 1508052.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 1508052 was cited August 5th, 2015 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On September 16, 2015, the special magistrate gave the property an additional 30 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate's order and was out of compliance for 2,239 days, resulting in a lien amount of $232,900. The applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Did you say it's the same owner or new owner? Or did you? Same owner, thank you. Yes, sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Yes, my name is Eduardo Arriagada. The address is 1807 Embassy Drive, Unit 101 in West Palm Beach, 33401.
Thank you. Are you the manager of the LLC?
I managed the
Thank you, sir.
LLC.
Go ahead.
Yes. The first notice of violation was mailed to the wrong address, and I just find out when we put the property for sale. And since the very same moment that I received the violations, I've been in contact with the city. I took care of all the violations, and I do request humbly a major lien reduction. It wasn't my intention, my purpose to fail to do that. Otherwise, I would have done it as soon as possible. But the address that was in the record is not the address for the property, not their property management.
All right, well, the magistrate at the time found proper notice. What was the notice, was it sent to the address that the property appraiser had on file?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Was that different from the actual site of the?
Yes, it was. It was sent to 2655 North Ocean Drive, Street 2003 in Riviera Beach.
Okay, at the,
But let's also, the property always get posted as well as sending out the notices.
right, but at the time, that was the address that the
on the
property appraiser had on
appraiser's
file?
seat. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the way notice works with code enforcement cases, the law doesn't actually require you to get actual notice. The law requires the city to send a notice to the address that is on file with the property appraiser or the tax collector. So if that's not the address where you get your mail, proper notice will be found, and it sounds to me like that's what happened in this case. Okay. And this was strictly a rental license, certificate of use?
Yes, failure to obtain a rental license, certificate of use, and stated the property was out of compliance for 2,239 days. They actually gained compliance at the time of this lien reduction application. That's how we complied it.
Okay. And it's been rented this whole time since 2015?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
The only thing, as soon as I learned, Ms. Monique has been very helpful. I've been following every advice because it's not my intention to fail to do anything like this. And as soon as I learned, very humbly, to reduce the max, I think 25% of the lien amount is a significant amount of money.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
That's it, sir.
All right. Give me just a second on this. Okay, so we have, this is a 2015 case ending in 052. This is a rental license and certificate of use violation. The lien on the property right now is $232,900. City's recommendation is to reduce that to more or less $58,000. Based on what I've heard in this hearing, I'm going to reduce that to $10,000, and I'll give you up to 12 months to pay that. How much time do you need to pay that?
We are on the process of selling the property, so we can close this. As soon as we have that on records, we can close within 10 days and pay that amount.
Okay, we'll put 30 days on the order. If you're going to be able to turn it around in 10, we'll give you 30 just to make sure there's a cushion there. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. When can I have copy of that?
Here's a copy of your order, sir.
Right now.
Thank you.
It's case number 2-1210 Alpha Street, CE 18050615.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 8050615 was cited on May 11, 2018 for repair of the roof wall and foundation, external doors and windows, interior and exterior stairways, drainage, paint, and fence repair. On June 20, 2018, the magistrate ordered 120 days or $50 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 1,279 days, resulting in a lien amount of $63,950. The applicant is the owner who caused the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Thanks. Can you go back? I'm curious what this sign says. I keep not getting able to see what it says.
It's being
Training
used by the
for-
fire department.
Fire department used the building for
Yeah.
training?
Yeah.
All
It's not really a good picture.
Okay. Yes, sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Sure. My name is William Brasmar. My address is 1313 North Ocean Breeze in Lake Worth Beach, Florida.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in 2008, we received my wife bought this property a long time ago, and it's just been sitting. We received notice that there was a bunch of issues that needed to be done. When I came before the magistrate at that time, I had already fixed most everything that they'd asked for, with the exception of painting the outside of the building. It was our intention from the get-start, I'd reached out to the fire department to donate the building so that he can use it for training. The issue we had was at the time, my wife bought it many, many years before she met me with 3 other gentlemen. And in the process, she was dealing with a great-great-grandson as a trustee of the original owner she was with, so we couldn't get clear title to transfer it over to the fire department. I did the work that needed to be done, fixing the pool that was dug, the grounds, cleaned everything up. The issue I had was getting title, and at that point, the magistrate I met with said they would give us 90 days. Unfortunately, I assumed I could get it done in that time. I couldn't get it to clear title. So we contacted with one attorney, tried to get it. That didn't happen, paid them money. Then in 2000, we got another issue because the vegetation was overgrown. So I met with the code enforcement person at that time, cleaned up all the vegetation, piled it up in the front yard thinking that we'd been paying trash pickup, and then of course found out no. So I went, removed all the trash myself with trailers, and then met with that person and gave them a plan of what we were going to do. And I explained at that time, the issue we had was we wanted to donate the property to the city, but we didn't have title. And then we contacted another attorney. We finally got title. That moment, we donated the property. They've been using it for the last 2 years as a training facility. And I sent the letter and sent them the paperwork, emailed it in and said, hey, you know, we've done everything. The city is using it now. And I assumed that that meant everything would stop. And then we have a piece of property in Lake Worth that we were trying to sell, and that's when I found out that there was a lien. So that's when I started the process. To date, just to the original stuff that we did, I spent $2,650 to clean up all the grounds. There was an issue with some bees. The first time I had somebody come out, it was $120. I had to pay $2,750 to have the property mitigated for asbestos so that we could donate it to the fire department. And then we spent, bees came back again prior to this, so spent another $600 to have the bees removed. And then to date, probably about $6,500 in attorney fees, just so we could get clear title, and like I said, donate it to the city. So that's where we're at this particular point.
So the city's been using this for the last couple of years for fire department training?
Yes, sir. As of October 23rd, 2020.
But because of the old code enforcement liens, it's clouding the title on your Lake Worth property?
Correct. Which I think at this particular point, we lost that sale, so that's another issue, but.
And right now, the city owns this piece of property?
No, the city
No.
doesn't. They're just using the building as.
Oh, I thought
training
you said it
purposes.
was,
I donated the building, so they're using the
donated
building. Right. We still own the property.
Okay.
We signed it over to the city and to South Tech. I think it's South Tech or a
Okay.
piece of
Use it
paper.
for training purposes.
Yeah, and so the fire department used it for training. And then the funnier thing is that the fire department boarded up the windows. They painted the outside to put the signs up. And then when I went to try and figure out what the issue was with the fire chief called me and said, hey, you're getting a fine still because we never filed for a permit to board up the windows. So I signed the papers, gave it back to the chief. The chief put it in an office envelope, sent it to the building inspector or the building department to get a permit. And then like a month went by and I was like, hey, did you hear anything on the permit? And he reached out and they said, oh, well, there was no phone number on it. We didn't know who to contact, so it's not been done. So it was like another 2 months just to get the permit for the boarding up of the windows. So then he paid the $50 and I gave him back the $50 and then we got a permit to board up the windows, and that was the final thing that they said was the issue with the property because we had no permit for boarding up the windows, which I didn't board them up, the fire department did.
Okay. So I don't know how the donation of the building was memorialized. I mean, this almost sounds to me like a chapter in the book, "A No Good Deed Goes Unpunished." To the extent that the building's been donated for a public purpose and it's being used for that purpose, and you're still getting.
Well, and one of the other things is in that time period, since I did the donation and we did that, I would call and try to get an answer on what to do, and I would get passed from one person that said, you need to talk to this person because it's a chronic. So then I'd call that person, and they said, oh, no, you need to talk to the other person. So it would have this endless loop of going between different agents. The only one I've actually met was, Francisco, I can look up his name. It was John Frasca was the first person that he was the one who, when I gave him our plan, he accepted it. He sent me an email saying, hey, I accept your plan and what you're gonna do. The only thing that was holding everything up was the getting the clear title.
But that's done now.
That's all done. Like I said, the city's been using it since 2000. And the funny thing is that when I would speak to somebody at the city, or one of the code enforcement people, many people I spoke to, one time I spoke to them and they said, hey, you have holes in your roof. You need to fix the roof. And I'm like, the fire department is using it for training. They're putting holes in the roof. I mean,
And that's ongoing, is that correct? I saw the picture, there's still a sign.
Yes, sir.
on the fire-
That is ongoing, but I do want to mention that former Officer John Murphy, he was the one that originally cited this property, but he made a note here explaining to the owner on October 30th, 2018, that the only thing he would need to comply this case back in 2018, he would need the official paperwork stating that the city is using the building for possession. I mean, now we know in 2020 it is, but back in 2018, there was no paperwork showing that. And that's what kept it going. And then when it came time when he applied for the lien reduction, as we know, there's processes that you have to go through in order to get here. Part of it was the building is boarded and we don't have anything on file showing that. And that's really what was the holdup, because the moment the inspection was done, the next day we cleared it for a hearing.
So, it's really not appropriate for me to give.
We weren't aware that,
Yeah.
he never, well, I would say from the lien reduction perspective, it was never made clear that the property was boarded up by West Palm Fire Department on our end. That wouldn't have been an issue as to why it wouldn't move forward.
So let me just say, again, I'm not supposed to give anybody legal advice, but I would strongly encourage you to get with, I don't know if it's the city attorney's office or who, but make sure this donation arrangement is properly memorialized in terms of who's responsible for the maintenance of the property and all of that. If you still own the property and they're just, if I were you, I'd want that to be memorialized really clear and make sure that,
I currently take care of the lawn maintenance on the property. I have a service that goes there every month to take care of it. The fire
I'm
department.
not trying to step into this
No, I
relationship.
understand.
I'm
The
just,
the West Palm Fire Department is in possession of just the building. They're responsible for just the structure.
Sure.
That the maintenance of the property, as far as like maintenance, like grass or anything like that, that is done by the owner, which is why the property was put into chronic nuisance, because it wasn't being maintained. That's what led to all of that.
yeah,
But that the actual structure, we now know that it is being used by the fire department.
so,
Special Magistrate, I'll investigate
yeah,
that.
so that's all I'm gonna say about that. I
Sure.
think everybody understands. Given the circumstances, can probably count on 2 fingers the number of times I've reduced a lien to 0, but this is gonna be one of those, I think, given the donation of the property for the city's use, more than makes up for any lien amount. So I am gonna reduce this to 0 under the circumstances. But again, I would encourage everyone to make sure this relationship is memorialized the way everybody wants it to be memorialized.
Sure.
And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sir? Sir, copy of your order?
Behind you.
Number 3, 1500 North Congress Avenue, B9, CE 180903331. And number 4, same address, CE 190100017.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 180-90031 was cited on September 5th, 2018 for failure to obtain a rental tax and certificate of use on October 24th, 2018. the special magistrate ordered 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 1,296 days, resulting in a lien amount of $259,200. The applicant is the owner who caused the violation. The city is seeking 25%. Case CE 19010017 was cited on January 3rd, 2019 for clean and sanitary external doors and windows, plumbing fixture, maintenance of hot and cold water lines. On February 20, 2019, the special magistrate ordered 30 days, $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 1,181 days, resulting in a lien amount of $118,100. The applicant is the owner who caused the violation. The city is also seeking 25%.
Thank you. All right. Yes, sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Daniel Ohm, and my office address is 6801 Lake Worth Road, Suite 319, Green Acres, Florida.
Are you the manager of the LLC?
I'm General Counsel.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have 3 of them. I would like to actually start with,
Yeah, that was a different owner.
I only have, on this address, I only have 2 on today's agenda.
Yeah, he's speaking about he's here for 2 properties, but 1850 is under a different ownership. So we just want to go with the 2 that's the same owner.
okay.
Okay.
So
Are
we're
you
doing
here
the
for
ones with
1850
the
North
same owner.
Congress?
Yeah,
Okay,
3 and 4 are same owners.
Forgive me.
No, that's okay, so you're here for 1850 North Congress, number 104 as well? Is that the-
Yes.
Okay, we'll take that one after these 2.
Perfect. Okay, so the ones from CLS Real Estate Investments LLC, both of these, they had poor property managers. They have since rectified that. They have new property managers in place. They have brought the property into compliance, and they no longer continue to be wishing to be in the business of renting the properties. They're basically looking to sell. And we're asking for a reduction. They're foreign investors.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last thing you said.
They're foreign investors, and they're
Oh,
basically
okay, gotcha.
wishing to basically liquidate the 2 properties.
This must be a really small condo.
Yeah,
So was it like a 1-bedroom or a studio or something like that?
I believe it's a 1-bedroom.
Okay.
I believe both of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could get
625 square
anything in Palm
footage.
Beach County for $70,000. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell me on this one? Anything else from the city?
Not it.
No.
Okay. All right, give me a second. We got 2 cases here. Tell me again, how long was the second case out of compliance, the one with the actual
The water lines.
plumbing and water and stuff?
Yeah, 1,181 days. I know in our application, they did state like some of the issues were HOA related.
Okay,
So they did comply with some of it, but others, they did have to wait on the HOA's approval. But I did want to mention, I mean, I understand that it is foreign, they live in a different country that own this property, but that doesn't negate the fact that it's still their responsibility to make sure that when you're renting out a property, it's properly maintained. Even if your property management is poor, you know, you change them, you don't wait till like years later, 4 years later, to finally change that.
Okay, so we have two cases. We have a 2018 case ending in 031, the case number. That was a rental license certificate of use violation with a lien of $259,200. And we have a 2019 case that had plumbing-related violations, and that has a lien of $118,100.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
A quick question, because now I'm getting confused. The 19 case is for 1850 North Congress Avenue 104 that we're talking about?
No.
I have,
Okay,
No,
okay.
both of those are for 1500 North Congress.
Okay, both of them are 50. My
One was a
apologies.
2018 case, and that was the rental license case, and the other is a 2019 case, and that's the one that had to do with the plumbing fixtures.
Okay.
So, and the total on those is $377,300 for that piece of property for the two cases combined. So, here's what I'm gonna do based on what I've heard and the value of the property. In the case ending in 031 with $259,200, I'm going to reduce that to $6,000. And in the case ending in 017 with the $118,100 lien, I'll reduce that to $4,000. So the total is, between the two, is $10,000. I can give you up to 12 months to pay that. How much time does your client need?
They'll have it paid in the next 60 days.
Put 60 days to pay that, both of those.
Thank you. Thank you.
And let's go ahead and take care of the other case that you're here for.
And then number 1850 North Congress Ave, 104 CE 1901027.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 19010267 was cited on January 15, 2019 for repair of interior walls and floor, external doors and windows, and equipment maintenance. On March 20th of 2019, the magistrate ordered 30 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 969 days, resulting in a lien amount of $96,900. The applicant who caused the violation, same owner, the city is seeking 25%.
Thank you. All right, counsel, go ahead and put your name and address on the record again, and then we can talk about this one.
It's Daniel Ohm. Office address is 6801 Lake Worth Road, Suite 319, Green Acres, Florida.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this one actually has a story. This essentially started with some disgruntled tenants that wanted to break their lease, and they basically complained to the city about some repairs. With the notices basically got posted on the actual property where the tenants were, so they never actually really even got notice that this was going on. How they eventually found out was the HOA, basically reaching out to the owners and finding out, hey, you're having some problems there. Part of the situation was a legal dispute between the owners and the HOA. Since that's all been resolved, and we're looking for a reduction.
Different tenants, I assume, at this point in time?
Vacant. It's
Same
been vacant
tenants?
for the last 2
Okay.
years since we've been going through this. And they're also looking to sell as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anything else from the city?
That's it.
All right. Okay, so this is the 2019 case. The lien is $96,900. City's recommending it be reduced to a little over $24,000. Based on what I've heard, the value of the property and the circumstances, I will reduce this one to $5,000. Can also pay that within the 60 days.
With that one, they've actually collected from the owners $3,000 that they're holding in escrow.
Okay.
Would that be something that you would consider?
I think the 5 is the appropriate number, but I can extend the time.
Okay, can we do that for 90 days?
Sure, 90 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Here's a copy of the orders. Number 6, 429 47th Street, CE 21090157.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 21090157 was cited September 15, 2021 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On November 17, 2021, the magistrate ordered the property 30 days or $200 a day to comply. The property was out of compliance for 99 days, resulting in a lien amount of $19,800. The applicant is the cause of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You can tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the
Let me
case.
say hello and thank you to Miss Monique. Are you Monique?
I'm Cassandra. That's
Oh,
Monique.
yeah, she's been very helpful through the process. At least it was a person to talk to. Yes, my name is Linda Gross. I am the owner of the property. I would like to say that I never received that notice back in September. I bought the house under COVID because my daughter was living in New York and she had gotten it. And I was very worried about her, and she wanted to come back as soon as she could leave her job. And I'm also a Realtor by profession, and just before COVID actually hit, probably the summer before, I was looking for a property because I just thought it might be a great idea, you know, if my kids came and I would have like bigger digs because I have a condo. I have two daughters who are out of the house. And my second daughter from New York was in a pretty serious relationship, and I knew she wanted to come back to Miami. Then, when COVID hit, I just went into kind of like full-time looking for property, and it was a very crazy time because, you know, all of these properties were getting bought out for cash, and I just felt like it was an urgent situation to try to get something before that window closed. And, you know, and that could also, you know, be something very good for me as an investment, growing older and whatnot. Anyway, so getting back to everything, like I said, I was very surprised to find out that I was not in compliance. What happened was my daughter decided after staying for a while with me, she wanted to go back to Miami, which is where we're from. Things never work out the way we like, unfortunately. I had this house that I was renovated because I got it for a good price, but it needed a lot of work. And of course, under COVID, it was taking a much longer time. And so I was just bleeding money, and I was trying to rent the house. I couldn't rent it full-time, and at the time I was completely unaware about the need for this license, trust me, because you're looking at a woman who, you know, I pay everything on time, pay my taxes on time, I don't have parking tickets, so this is like, for me, the most unusual situation I've ever come across or encountered. It's also scary, so excuse me if I get a little emotional.
Oh, you're fine.
But anyway, I found myself in this situation of having to pay, you know, the second mortgage, and nobody wanted to rent the house. And, you know, I'm in Northwood Harbor, which is now kind of up and coming, but like a year or so ago, it's always been up and coming, and I saw the beauty there. But a year ago, it was a bit rougher. And so I was stuck with this, you know, problem. How can I support the house, and how can I keep the renovations going on? And then I started looking into the possibility of short-term rentals. And I, you know, quickly, you know, went online, researched what was necessary, and unfortunately, It did not say anything about the city license. It talked about going to the Palm Beach County tax collector. It talked about getting a BTR. It talked about paying the state license, estate taxes, and that licensure. The one thing that fell through the cracks was with the city, the municipality. And there was never an intention to do that. So when I first got the notice, in November, and I was dealing with Mr. Levine, I think I really confused because there were all of these requirements with the state. And unfortunately, I did not know that there was an attachment there that he had sent me. It was going to the city. So when he was talking to me about this compliance and sending things in, I was mistakenly sending stuff to the state. So this never, whatever, went through in time to the municipality. And accidentally, because I was in the throes at that time, because mid-November was really when season was starting, my first document from Mr. Levine that I have, I think it came November 9th, the one that I saw. And then there was the requirement for the hearing, and it just fell through the cracks. It was never my intention, like, to not show up. I don't know, it just didn't happen. I just didn't see it, forgot about it, whatever. And therefore, all these things kept snowballing. Just like somebody who, doesn't appear in court for a traffic violation, all of a sudden they get their car towed. All kinds of terrible things happen. We hear about this and you just don't think it's going to happen to you. Not in this way anyway. So this is the story. This is, what happened. There was never any intention. And I really feel I've been punished enough because it's cost me at least $14,000 or more. I couldn't rent the house. I couldn't do anything with the house, and it's been a very difficult time. I even called the office and spoke with Monique and said, can you do anything to move this forward? Because 90 days to go without income when you have so many expenses is very hard and very harsh. So this is what happened, and this is why I'm here. And of course, I'm very sorry that it happened, but like I say, this was something that fell through the cracks. It was not my intention, and, I just put myself before you and your compassion and your understanding.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you said. Is there anything else from the city on this one?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is a 2021 case regarding a rental license and certificate of use violation. The lien on the property is $19,800. The city's recommendation is to reduce that to just under $5,000. I'm going to reduce that to $2,500. Can you pay that within the next 90 days?
I could, yes, thank you.
90 days, $2,500.
Thank you.
All right.
Lastly, number 1715 Village Boulevard, number 206, CE 21110134.
Hello,
Good morning.
my name is Martina. I'm the property management.
I'll go first.
Sorry.
Yep, just hang on a second. Let me hear from the city, and then I'll come right back to you.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 2110134 was cited on November 8, 2021 for failure to obtain rental license and certificate of use. On March 20, 2019, I'm so sorry, I got the date wrong. 2019, it was cited in 2019. On March 20, 2019, the magistrate ordered 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property was out of compliance for 56 days, resulting in a lien amount of $11,200. The applicant is who caused the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
Tell me, I didn't quite hear you, how many days it was out of compliance?
60.
60?
56.
Sorry.
I can't do math, so that's what I'm going to tell you. Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Tell me your name and address, and then tell me
Sorry.
about the application.
I'm Martina, the property management of the Unit 1750, Village Boulevard, Unit 206, in West Palm Beach, Florida, 33409.
And are you the manager of the LLC?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
the property management. Yeah, I'm from RMG Realty Miami Group, just in case.
Okay.
When we've been notified about the situation by the tenant, we made all the repairs needed. That happened around May. So if you go now, like, is everything perfect, in perfect conditions? But we have a tenant, we couldn't know before she let us know.
Okay. Let's see. So you acquired the property in March of 2020?
Yeah.
And this came in, so then you were renting it without the certificate of use and the license for, what, about a year?
Sorry?
Let me ask the city, was it about a year they were doing this without the license? If they got it in March of 2020 and the violation was,
I got the date wrong. I apologize. They were cited November 8, 2021, and it was taken to hearing on February 7, 2022. So I apologize for that. But yeah, they didn't have a rental license on here. It seemed the tenants got in contact with Officer McFarlane on November, that same day that they were cited, for a new number of things. And like she said, they did pass inspection, but it was after the date.
okay.
I know on the property appraiser showing that the sale was on March 2020. That's when they,
Yeah,
yeah. So about a year they went without getting the proper rental license.
okay. And then you did go, well, obviously went through the inspection and it passed, and now you've got your certificate and your license.
Okay.
Yes, they passed everything.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
No.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
Sorry, it's my first time.
Okay, so this is a rental license certificate of use violation. The lien is $11,200. City's recommendation is to reduce it to no more than $2,800. Based on what I've heard at this hearing, as well as reviewing the property appraiser's information and the assessed value of the property, I will agree to reduce this to $1,200. How long, can you pay that in the next 30 days?
Yes,
30 days.
that's fine.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
very
that
much.
concludes. Is there anything else? Are we done? Anything else on the agenda? I think we covered everything, so unless there's anything else for the good of the order, it is about 12:15, and we stand adjourned.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.